Yo, what is up guys, Ghost here, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about some new additional details that I've found for you guys on Season 7 over the past couple of days here. So since the announcement, a lot of things have come to light over on Twitter, some things have been leaked, apparently by accident by DICE, and some of the things have just been clarified by the developers. So I just wanted to round up everything that I've learnt here and share it with you guys. As always guys, if you do enjoy the videos here on the channel, hit up that subscribe button. Lots more content to come on Season 7 over the next few weeks and probably several months if I know DICE correctly. So hit up that sub button. Thank you guys so much for the support. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the new vehicle coming in Season 7, the XFAD 4, the Droger, aka the Ghost. So I'm sure many of you guys were somewhat disappointed like me to hear that this vehicle, along with the new LMG and the map I believe, are only going to be released with update 7.2. So not even 7.0 or 7.1, but 7.2. That is quite a ways into Season 7. We all speculated that the wait time would be a couple of months, and that seems to be pretty much spot on. So there was an article posted over on gadgetget.com. And according to them, they say that the developers warn that some of these shown innovations will be added to the game only with patch 7.2, and its release is scheduled for May. So if I know DICE correctly, it's going to be the end of May rather than the beginning of May. So that's definitely a bit of a bummer. Of course, we kind of knew that. I don't really know why they have to drip feed things for us, especially the new vehicle. I mean, that's kind of one of the big integral parts. I kind of get the new map, you know, we're already getting one map, so sure, let us play on that map and get our fill, and then let's release the other map halfway through the season. But come on, man, the vehicle, that's kind of part of the identity, isn't it, of the season? Anyway, enough of that. However, some of the questions I do have about this vehicle is, what are the loadouts going to be? Is it going to be able to fight anti-air? Is it going to be able to dogfight in any way? How agile is it going to be? How tanky is it going to be? And what sort of munitions is it going to get? So I don't have any solid loadouts here, but I have learned a few things over the past couple of days. So first of all, apparently it actually doesn't have radar missiles. For any of you guys who watched a video, like I watched the one from the Catwoman, who apparently got some inside information from the EA Creator Network, everybody was saying that this thing has radar missiles. However, over on Twitter, Eddie, the lead vehicles designer, he actually commented here on a now deleted post, so I don't know what the post was, but he says there is no radar missile on this. For your information, who said that? And, you know, I mentioned here that I also saw this in Catwoman's video, so maybe the information that they got in the press release was wrong and incorrect. So if that's what you guys have heard, apparently no radar missiles, which I think is a good thing. And he also clarified that for me, saying, yep, that's likely, and there's also no lock-on anti-air. So not only does it not have radar missiles, apparently it doesn't have heat-seeking missiles either. Now, a couple of other clarifications about this vehicle. A lot of people seem to think this is a vehicle that you call in, it does some sort of a bombing, strafing run, and then it leaves the battlefield, but Kevin Johnson, the community manager, has confirmed that it is not on rails, it is a fully pilotable vehicle, and they're going to release more on its capabilities at a later point. And then Eddie also chimed in here, commenting on how this is going to fit into the rest of the roster. He says that it uses the same category as the jets, but it will use a custom setting built for this to limit its availability to a number that they are comfortable with. So you can use 2 regular jets as you do today, or 1 regular jet and the Ghost. Yes, guys, I'm going to call it the Ghost now because it was obviously named after me. I think that's apparent to everybody. Thank you, by the way, Eddie, for that. I appreciate it, man. So the battlefield won't be littered with these vehicles. If you play, for example, on Breakthrough 128 players, I believe you can spawn in 3 jets there. I think they're going to be limited to either 1 or 2. Probably 1, and then you can have 2 regular jets as wingmen or whatever. So I think that signifies and is a little bit of a telltale sign that these jets are going to be quite powerful, and DICE therefore don't want them to overrun the battlefield. Now, we've also heard from other content creators that this vehicle can be kitted out with an anti-vehicle loadout or an anti-infantry loadout. So I assume when they're talking anti-vehicle, they most likely mean anti-armor, anti-ground vehicle. It doesn't really seem to be the sort of aircraft that is going to be able to hold its own in a dogfight, and so I have wondered a little bit about how is it going to survive against enemy F-35s, enemy Su-57s, and these super modern fighters. However, shout out to Torbis here. He sent me this screenshot which he found apparently on Reddit, and you can see here that they have 2 very small guns on the front of the aircraft. So it is going to have some sort of guns. It's not clear whether these are designed for anti-infantry or they're designed for anti-air. Since it is of course a bomber, I'm assuming that you can either equip it with some big heavy bombs for anti-vehicle, similar to if you think about like the Pacific update in Battlefield 5, you had some larger, heavier bombs there. Or you can equip, for example, cluster bombs or incendiary bombs or something like that, something that's going to take out a large swathe of an area and kill a bunch of infantry. It just doesn't seem like the kind of vehicle that is going to be doing strafing runs with machine guns or anything like that, so these are almost certainly for anti-air capability. And then of course, let's not forget that we do have a cloaking system. I can only assume it's going to work somewhat similar to the stealth mode of the stealth helicopter. It's probably going to be, at least if you're playing on PC, on your Z key, and you'll be able to activate it every so often with a cooldown. I'm very curious to see how much you actually disappear. Like, do you become completely invisible? Can you see a little bit of a glimmer on the horizon? And will you actually still be able to shoot one of these jets down if you're in an F-35 or an Su-57 if you catch wind of it? Or is it, you know, just going to be like complete invisibility? I think that would be a little bit too overpowered, but I'm super excited to see exactly how that works. I'm also wondering if they're going to give this thing repairs, are they going to give it flares, or is the cloaking system going to be your countermeasure on this aircraft? And perhaps if you get locked on, the cloak will break the lock of the missile. I'm not really sure how exactly that would work because it's a heat-seeking missile and you've also got radar missiles and stuff like that. But hey, if it's a cool gameplay mechanic, I don't really have any issues with it bending the laws of physics or reality in that regard. Okay, moving on from the XFAD here, let's now go and take a look at some of the attachments for the new SMG, the SCZ-3, and the new assault rifle, the AK-5C. So shout out to Leone Class over on Twitter. He discovered this in the Portal editor. Apparently DICE have just dropped all of the attachments for the new weapons in the Portal editor, so even though we can't see these weapons in-game, we can see them over there in the editor, and he has been so kind as to make a nice little graphic here showing everything off for these two weapons. So, starting off with the SCZ-3, first of all, we have magazines. So we have a high-power magazine, high-power drum mag, and then there's also a standard magazine, which appears to be extended, and then a standard drum magazine as well. So kind of seems similar to the K30 here. I think this weapon is going to be extremely powerful if I had to guess. You've got subsonic ammunition there as well, and then a host of barrel attachments as well as optics. Nothing really new there, but when we come over to the AK-5C, this weapon seems to be a lot more versatile. So you've got close combat rounds, subsonic, armor piercing, high power, standard issue extended, close combat extended, and high powered extended, it would seem. And then if we come down to the barrel attachments, you're going to recognize a brand new one here, a heavy barrel. So we've already got short barrels, regular barrels, and long barrels in the game, but now it seems they are bringing back heavy barrels as well. What this will do to the weapon, I guess time will simply tell on that one. And then as we move into the optics here, there's also a brand new one, the Hollow Point CS. I believe it's this one here from the video, and apparently this one is unique to the AK-5C. So I'm a really big fan of this. I love to see DICE introduce not just a new weapon, but take that opportunity to introduce a few new attachments as well, and I would love to see them move these attachments onto some of the other weapons in the game, because it just helps flesh out the variety in Battlefield 2042 a little bit, and with a game that gets so little content these days, I think that can really go a long way. Now, as I'm recording this video here, DICE have actually just released some new information about the Haven map, with a blog sort of going over all of the objectives, and in that blog is a screenshot of the deploy screen, and here you will notice that there seems to be a new UI feature that says vehicle menu, and at least here on PC it looks like you can right click now to bring up the vehicle menu, which I think is really, really nice. A lot of the time when you're spawning, especially at the start of a round, you would have the vehicle icon getting in the way of the icons of your squad buddies, any vehicles that were already spawned on the ground, etc. So it seems now you're going to bring up that vehicle icon by right-clicking or probably pressing some other button on console. So I think that tomorrow, it's pretty likely that DICE will release the patch notes for 7.0. They generally seem to do that before the weekend, just so we get the chance and the opportunity to have a little look at them, a little peruse of them before the patch goes live next Tuesday. I've also heard that there is some gameplay coming from EA content creators, so if you guys want to see that, keep your eyes peeled to The YouTube, of course, I won't be putting any of that up for you guys, unfortunately, much as I would love to. But yeah, like I say, as soon as we get our hands on the patch notes, I will be covering all of those here on the channel. So keep your eyes peeled, guys. Subscribe down below and hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on that video. And if you want to check out my reaction as well as my initial thoughts to the reveal of Season 7, go and check this video out here. But otherwise, have a great day, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one.